Well, all right. I got another topic that was given to me about respecting people's boundaries. Oh boy, that one's going to be tough because boundaries for for each person is different, and sometimes people can't respect them, or you have to respect them, and sometimes people take that for granted. But yeah, there are certain lines you can cross with them, and then there's boundaries. That's one thing you don't cross is their boundaries. And well, like for instance, like say if something, like say like, oh, what can I really use as an example? Oh, well, prime example. Back then, growing up, when I was in elementary school, one of my boundaries was people asking questions because back then I didn't know if people were legitimately asking or asking just to pick because in elementary school everybody picked on me, almost everybody. So it was kind of hard to tell if people were legitimately curious about my arms or just picking because I got so used to people picking. So that was just a boundary that I didn't want no one to ask. Didn't know one, well, not ask to cross. And over time, your boundary can evolve into other things or turn into other things, or you can have more than one boundary. It's all up to the person or how they grow up or how they are or how they were brought up in the world. Um, it's very difficult to let people in your boundaries. When you let someone cross that boundary, that lets them know that you're willing to trust them enough to share this with them. And that's a good thing because if they are willing to let you in within their boundaries, that lets you know that they trust you enough to truly be themselves around you if they allow that to happen. And sometimes people take that for granted. Yeah, I've seen it happen multiple times. Multiple times. Sorry, you're not really seeing my face. Um, does it suck when you let? Oh, it's too close. Does it suck when you let someone hurt you because you they passed a certain boundary? Yeah, it does. I mean, it happens. Um, but it just overall, letting someone know that you have a certain boundary is a good thing because that lets them know how far they can push the envelope. They go too far, then without them knowing, then yeah, it's not. Well, technically, it is. It's not really the person's fault because one, you didn't let them know that this was a boundary you didn't want to cross. Two, yeah, they probably shouldn't have said it, but again, you, the person that knows your boundaries, didn't tell the person. So it's a like a double-edged sword. If you don't tell the person that this is a certain boundary that I don't want you to cross, and they cross it without them knowing that they crossed it, both of y'all are at fault. So once again, just respect people's boundaries and respect is earned. Just respect the boundaries. So overall, you gotta tell the person, hey, this is a boundary that I don't want you to cross. And if they go, oh, okay, cool, no problem, that's a good friend. But if you got that one friend that will, push the envelope and cross it for the fun of it, once again, cut them off. Cut them off. They'll be all right. You'll be all right. Don't even explain to them why you cutting them off. Don't even explain it. Just cut them off. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. In the words of my dad, fuck them. They'll be all right. Excuse my language, but yeah, that's what I live by. That's what I live by. Um, let's see. Let's see if I have a story for respecting boundaries. I do. I do. So, a long time ago, when I was in the first grade, I was just learning how to be social because, growing up with a physical special needs condition, it's kind of hard to make friends at that age. I mean, any other kid in the first grade that's society calls it quote unquote normal kids, um, it's easy. But for someone who was born with a physical condition, it's kind of hard to like make friends. It was. So I had to learn boundaries. Heck, I had to learn the hard way. What I was doing was making people uncomfortable, and I didn't know that at the time. Then, as I got older, I realized that I was I realized I was crossing boundaries that I didn't even know, and once again, they never told me. So I was not supposed to. I was making them uncomfortable if they never told me. Or crossing the boundary that I didn't even know I crossed if they never told me. But yeah, it goes both ways. So growing up, I didn't like it when people touched my arms. They were curious. But again, it was a boundary that I didn't like it, that I didn't like. And I'm okay with it now. I'm okay with it now. But growing up, especially in elementary school, I didn't like it when people touched my arms. I didn't. I didn't. As long as they were like my friends, like truly my friends, I didn't mind it because they were curious. I didn't mind it, but other people outside my friend group and besides teachers, I didn't like it. Like it's just made my skin crawl. So one day, someone decided to push that boundary in the first grade. Um, don't remember the kid's name, but I saw him again in the fifth grade, and me and him were like friends afterwards. But yeah, in the first grade, this kid, he kept pinching me in my arms, and that's a boundary I didn't want him to cross. So I told him respectfully to stop touching me. He didn't listen, and my mom taught me you give him 3 strikes. Third strike is on their own. But the way my father would word it, after the third strike, after they don't listen, you got my right to beat their ass. And that's what I chose. So I told him to stop, and he didn't listen. So I headbutted him hard, so hard that his 2 front teeth came out. Yeah, literally. I looked on the ground, on the carpet, and his 2 front teeth was just sitting there chilling. I was like, oh snap! But of course, I'm little, so everybody crying. I start crying. I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, why the hell am I crying? So of course, your teacher thinks I did it on purpose, so I get in trouble. And I'm like, nah, I told this kid to stop pinching me after I was done having my crying fit. Um, so I get called. My mom gets called. Of course, the first thing she asked was, why am I getting this severe punishment? What did I do? Yada yada. Of course, she was amped. She was angry. But I told her what happened, and when the teacher found out what happened, she realized she messed up. So the referral was never written. I didn't get in trouble. I mean, I did because I condoned. I hit somebody, so they just let me off with a warning. Yeah, let me off with a warning. I didn't really get in trouble. I got fussed at, but not to the point where I was gonna get a referral. But yeah, he didn't respect my boundaries. The moral of the story: he didn't respect my boundaries, and I warned him, and he didn't listen. So his teeth, he paid the price with his teeth. Two of them at that. Yeah, and that did, and it was crazy. What's crazy? That happened to me twice. That happened to me twice because apparently I did this again. This happened again when I was with my dad at some park. He told me. I honestly don't remember doing this, but he said I did that before. I had somebody headbutted somebody before, and I don't remember. I don't remember that. The only person I do remember headbutting was this kid in the first grade. But yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened. That's a very good example of trying to respect people's boundaries. A very good example. So to sum this all up, um, respect people's boundaries. Okay, if they say, "Hey, this is something I don't want to cross," respect it. Don't be an asshole. Respect it. Okay, that's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Um, yeah, I think that's about it. That's all I got. That's all I got. I would love to talk about another topic. Yeah, I would love to talk about another one. So let me know in the comment section down below what else you want me to talk about. Let's keep this going. I like this. I like this. Let's keep this going. Um, what else? Oh yeah. Album 6 for my music is officially underway, and for those who like Spotify, for those listening like Spotify, wow. For those who like to listen to music on Spotify, uh, I will be creating a playlist of all my songs, well, most of my songs, on there, and yeah, that's underway. So some new surprises with that because I finally figured out how to do it. Shout out to my cousin. Shout out to my cousin. Thank you. That information will not go to waste. Appreciate it. What else? What else? What else? What else? Hmm. Yeah, a couple of new songs coming for album 6. Uh, and for those who watch my fan series Fighter X World, I think we're like on episode 6 or 5. Nope, 6. Yeah, 6. Yeah, we finished 6, and it was uploaded. I think. Yeah, it was. And episode 7 and 8 is on the way for those who do watch it, who for those who like watching the series. And Dimension Blades. I It's in the works, but I think I might want to redo the trailer again because people only like 4 people saw it. Yeah, only like 4 people saw it, so I think I might want to redo it again, but a little bit better. Yeah, a little bit better. So, that's all the news I got, but once again, respect people's boundaries. Once again, respect them no matter what, and let me know in the comment section what you want me to talk about next. I like doing this. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Love you. Stay safe.